My name is Konstantin Kugar. I'm a product application specialist for Landfill Compactors.
And I'm Layne, sales support consultant for waste applications at Caterpillar. And today is a great day. Konstantin, you know why it's a great day?
Because it's a great day.
Yeah,
Why is it a great day?
Because we're in the landfill.
Oh, yes, sir.
Any day you're in the landfill is a great day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Clay, before we get started with new features and benefits of the new 836, how long have you been in the waste business?
Great question, Konstantin. You know, we've been able to look back and really trace Caterpillar's roots in the waste business all the way back to 1925. And that was in a landfill right outside the city of Dallas, Texas, where they were using the old Holt Best tractors and pulling carts as they were hauling waste away on a 2.5 mile circle where they go dump it out and come back to the landfill. So long time ago, coming up on almost 100 years ago. When we really look at CAT's commitment, footprint in the waste business, you can go back to 1972 when we introduced the world's first purpose-built landfill compactor, which was our 816 model. So 50 years ago, we invented the first landfill compactor. But today, we're here to talk about this 836, right? So the 836 was launched in 1993, coming up on 30 years ago that we've been producing the 836 landfill compactor. So we've been in the waste business for quite a long period.
Wow, yes, you're right. We have a lot of experience in building this. So before we get into this, actually, what is Caterpillar compactor biggest differentiator?
Yeah, our biggest differentiator on our landfill compactors really is our mechanical drive powertrain. We've been doing it from day one. In 1972, we had a mechanical powertrain with that 816 landfill compactor. And 50 years later, we're still utilizing that mechanical powertrain. It's expensive, but it's durable. It's going to last the life of that machine and then some. And what a lot of other landfill compactors in the market, other manufacturers, they utilize the high stats. We stick with the mechanical drive, mechanical powertrain. And so what you have is you have a power shift transmission, you have a torque converter, then you got a steel drive shaft that runs back to a steel axle, which then goes out to your planetaries, your ring gears, and then into your final drives. And then even the end of that shaft is steel. The tips are steel. So it's steel on steel. The advantage there is it stays tight over the life of that machine with the way all the gears and everything fit together. So it stays tight, but what I'm getting there is that's where I'm getting all my torque, all my power when I'm out there pushing trash and I'm compacting trash, right? I'm getting that torque from that steel on steel. Another benefit to that mechanical powertrain is the weight, right? So we get all of our weight of our machine. That's where we get our compaction. You know, we'll talk tips, things like that, but where we get the good compaction, we're utilizing the weight of this machine. So I'm getting some extra weight with that mechanical powertrain. So I don't have to add any weights, the extra weight to the blade. You know, I don't have to add any extra counterweight. You know, I don't ballast anything because I'm getting that extra weight from that mechanical powertrain as well. Some of the other advantages are it's designed to be rebuilt. So when I take my machine in for a midlife rebuild at 12, 13, 14, 15,000 hours, I can also rebuild that powertrain, bring it back out, and it's like new, you know, and I'm still utilizing that same system. Looking back at it, you know, because all of our heavy equipment utilizes, you know, most of it utilizes that mechanical powertrain, you can still find machines out there in the industry today, you know, from the 1970s that are running, that have that mechanical powertrain.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's our biggest differentiator. Like I said, it's expensive, but it works. You know, no need to go to something else. It's a proven design. We've been running it for 50 years, so might as well stick with it, right?
Yep, definitely. Yeah, great explanation, Clay, of the mechanical powertrain benefits, right?
Yep.
And yes, you are absolutely correct. You know, mechanical powertrain is a superior design, and we are making updates to it and improvements, right?
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so this new 836 has redesigned axles, right? So we removed no-spin differentials and we replaced it with cat lockers differentials. Now this enables the machine to do quicker directional shifts. It removes the noise, the clunky noise that no-spin does when it disengages, and we are providing a true four-wheel compactor to the customers.
Oh, that's great. And I think, you know, looking at it from that smoother shift, you know, standpoint, from an operator, that's a great feature for that operator as well. And even the noise part of it, you know, reducing some of that noise, you know, that clunking out of there, that's going to be so much better for that operator in the machine, as well as improving the long-term durability of that as well.
Definitely. And we also updated some upsize the axle components like the shaft, final gear drives. We updated those components as well to improve the durability of it, just like you said. So the new 836 also has updated transmission design, right? So we redesigned output transfer gears. We went from helical gears to spur gears, and we changed the bearing cage material to brass.
Like you said, proven design, but we're always looking, how can we make those improvements, right? Make it better for the operator, make it better for the customer, and that long-term owning and operating costs, right? Reduce some of those maintenance costs, that we see on some of the machines.
Now, Clay, trash has a tendency to get in everywhere, right? We're in the landfill. So in one place we don't want it to get into is around our dual cone seals on the axles, right? So did we do any improvements in that area?
Great question, Konstantin. You're right. The dual cone seals definitely need to be protected, right? And being in this environment, in the landfill, and we've got, when you look at our wheels, right? We've got cleats on there, we've got tips. And as we go forward and back, and we're going over that trash, it's got a tendency, it's going to get stirred up and it's going to work itself in. Trash really has a tendency to work itself into those vital areas where we don't want it, right? Where we think trash can't get to, it's going to find a way there. And one of the areas we want to protect is that dual cone seal that's, on our wheels. And so what we've done, to help protect that dual cone seal is we put that labyrinth in there, right? And that labyrinth really is designed to help deflect and keep that waste from even getting up into that dual cone seal. Because once it starts getting in there, whether it's a wire wrap, whether it's trash, now it's going to cause damage. Now my machine's going to go down. My machine goes down, what's going to happen, right? I've got higher maintenance costs. I'm not making any money when that machine's sitting and being fixed, right? So that labyrinth is designed to deflect that trash and keep it from getting up to it as well. And then another thing that we did too was a dual cone shield that we made, and another design that goes over top of it and protects it as well. So if something were to even get past that labyrinth and up into that dual cone seal, that shield's protecting it and still going to deflect that trash away and protect that as well. And that's on all four wheels. Another thing I'd like to point out is some improvements we made to our eyebrow guarding on the rear axle. We've taken a liner and put underneath the eyebrow guarding, and we've stiffened up the gussets on the left and right side. So basically what we've done is created that eyebrow guard is made it stronger and more durable. So if trash were to get up inside there as well, we don't risk the chance for it to bend or break because we made it stronger.
That's very good improvements for our customers.
Yeah, it's all about things that we've seen. It's all about protecting those vital components of this machine, because trash, when we look at the landfill, as you know, it's the harshest environment that we can put Caterpillar equipment in. So we've always got to be looking, right? We've got to protect those vital components of that machine when it's out there. Still, we got to keep moving. We've got to get compaction. Compaction's good, for the landfill. It's good for the environment. Higher densities, it's all about airspace. So I got to keep that machine moving. And so therefore, we got to make those improvements, keep that machine on the working face and get that compaction.
Yes, sir. Uptime is the #1 requirement for the customers because they can't stop. All right, Clay. That's a good summary of the improvements on the guarding around the dual cone machine.
All right, great.
Is there any updates or improvements in the cooling package?
You know what? We have done some stuff with the cooling package. Let's take a walk through the back and take a look, and we'll talk about the cooling package.
All right, Clay. So here we are by the cooling package of the new 836. So have you made any improvements?
We have. One of the big improvements that we made on the cooling package is the debris guard around our hydraulic fan. And being in the landfill, being around the trash, plastic bags, right, that you see from the grocery stores, notorious for getting inside, the compartment there and possibly wrapping around that fan, causing some damage to the motor, and then the fan doesn't work, right? So we put a debris guard around the motor of the fan with an improved lip design, to help keep any of that debris out, right? So that way we don't have to worry about that fan going down and not cooling that machine. Also, not an improvement, but we still have from the K series is the reversing fan. So we have a reversing fan now on here that's going to blow any of that debris out of the radiator. That's going to help with the cooling as well.
And it's 2020, right?
2020 vision, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it comes, every 20 minutes. It can it's going to purge for 20 seconds and reverse, right? And we can go in and kind of set some of those parameters. If I see that 2020 is not working, maybe I can make it 1020 or whatever. I can change those parameters and that timing on there. Another great feature we have with the cooling package is going to be our positive pressure hood enclosure. So basically what we're creating inside that engine compartment in that hood is positive pressure that's sealed up. So what it's going to do is help push air out and keep it pressurized where none of that debris and stuff is getting inside that engine compartment or possibly around that radiator where it's going to plug it up and start causing that machine to overheat or, temperatures get up. Because in the environment that we're in the landfill, we got dust, we've got auto fluff, we got all kinds of things coming in that potentially can get inside that radiator and plug it up and cause that machine to overheat.
Yes, definitely good improvement on the debris guard. I know that we also added seals around the grill, air inlet doors. So we had a complaint from the customers that, the trash gets in there, right? So we added seals around those areas as well.
Yeah, and that's a great point, voice of customer, right?
Yes.
The guys that are in the field every day, in the trash, every day saying, hey, we're seeing this or we're seeing that, or hey, Cat, can you try, doing something here, to help us out? We listen, engineering listens, create a new design for it and improve that sealing. So,
Yep.
Yeah, great point, Konstantin.
Yep. So Clay, I know that we're always looking to improve our serviceability on the machine, right? So did we make any improvements in that area for the new 836?
Yeah, we did. And so you're right. We're always looking to kind of improve, right? The idea is we want to make it as much of a ground level servicing, as we can for the operator or, the mechanic to come in, make it safer for them, to do that serviceability part. So some of the things that we've done on this 836 next gen is under the hood, lighting inside the engine compartment. So when an operator shows up to work in the morning, maybe it's still dark or the mechanic something's got to get fixed. So the mechanic's going to get there early. It's going to be dark. There's a light inside the engine compartment we can flip on. And
Nice.
as long as our disconnect switch is on, so we got power there, we can see inside. And another thing too, we've had these pull-out steps, on the other compactors as well. But what it usually would happen over time is the machine got older, stuff would get built up inside there maybe and it'd be harder to open. But these steps swing out. So we put some more supports up top to decrease the flexibility to keep it more sturdy over the life of that machine. So that way it's still going to keep it easier for that mechanic to open that up to get inside and service that machine. So, keeping it safer and easier for him over the years.
Great improvements on the serviceability. Great. Yep. Thanks, Clay.
Uh-huh.
All right, Clay. So here we are by the front of the machine. Did we make any improvements to the front of this machine?
We didn't change anything to the front of the machine. So when I think of the blade, we still got our 3 standard blade options that we offer, and we haven't changed anything there. But the one thing we did change as far as the front end here is the lift capacity of this machine. We've increased the lift capacity to 12,000 pounds. And the reason why we did that was we still got a lot of landfills out there today that are using a tarping system at the end of the day to do their cover. And so we've designed it, increase that lift capacity. So now the 836 can be part of the fun at the end of the day. He can be the one to go over, pick the tarp system up, bring it up to the working face, and be a part of the action to help unroll that tarp and cover up for the end of the day operations. So 12,000 pound lift capacity, specifically for lifting up the tarp system.
Wow, yeah.
At the end of the day.
That's a great improvement, yeah. Just gives that much more flexibility to the landfill.
Yep, absolutely. Like I said, nobody likes to be left out, right? So we want the 836 to be part of the game.
Okay, Clay. So did we do anything else on the outside, before we're gonna go into the cab?
Yeah. The one other thing I'd point out, change that was made was we had a depth phase tank, and what that has done with that depth, right, is it's cooling down faster. In our previous K series when Tier 4 came out, we got Tier 4 final, and we're adding depth. Our delayed engine shutdown. Basically, delayed engine shutdown is I shut the key off, the machine continues to run. It's going to go through its cooling phase, until it reaches a certain ambient temperature, and then it'll shut off. Now, sometimes that could have took 20, 25, 30 minutes. And you think at the end of the day, right, I'm sitting there, shut the machine off, waiting. I can't walk away and leave that machine running. So I got to wait for it to shut off, and then I can, do my end of the day stuff and leave. So, but by adding the depth phase tank, we've actually reduced that delayed engine shutdown time by 50%. So now I can get that machine's going to shut off a little bit sooner. I can get to my end of the day operations, shut the disconnect off, and leave for the day. But a 50% reduction in that time is really better for everybody. It's
Yes, that's a great improvement. Plus, you are saving a lot of fuel to the customer as well.
Yep, customer idle time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we're in the cab. Now tell us about the improvements in the cab for the 836.
Yeah, absolutely. So, first of all, when we're sitting in this machine, right, and we're out here on the working face, and it's very busy, right? I've got truck drivers, I've got supervisors, managers coming out. Sometimes we've got the public coming out. So one of the most important things, besides communication in the landfill, is visibility. And so that's what we've done here. We've taken these side windows and we made them lower. So now I've got increased visibility looking out my side windows where I can see the edges of my wheels, my blade, giving me a little bit more, visibility to see what's going on outside there. So that's a great, enhancement from the cab standpoint. A couple other things that I'd point out as new with the cab is not so much with the cab itself, but just some of the things that we've added from a technology standpoint. So number one, I'll point over here to our performance monitor, and we have what we call slope indicate now. So this is basically these two icons right here that are telling me, number one, what my slope is, and also it's going to tell me what my main fall is. So this is a great feature as I'm out here trying to build a 3-to-1 slope or a 4-to-1 slope. It's now going to let me help that dozer build that slope where I'm not eyeballing it anymore. I've got something telling me what my slope is and what my percentage is. Another cool feature with that also is it's going to give me an alarm as the operator. It's going to give me an alarm at 35%. So let me know, hey, I'm getting a little too steep. I could risk, sliding down the working face a little bit, maybe risk a tip over, possibly, or also cavitation of fluids inside that engine compartment or hydraulic tank, if I get on too much of a slope, which then would cause damage to the engine or that vital system that cavitates, on that fluid. So that comes standard now with the 836 Next Gen. Mm-hmm. So great feature. And then another part technology-wise that's coming standard, part standard, is our cat compaction technology. Mm-hmm. And that's this screen right here. So for starters, we got rid of the CB460 that used to sit up here on the side, smaller screen. It's now a 10-inch touch screen, and we've got it placed right here in the front to where I can keep eyes on it at all times. I don't have to move my head to look over to the side and look at what I'm doing, right? It's right there. Doesn't restrict any of my visibility because I still got a direct line of sight down to the blade. I've got direct line of sight out to the ends of the blade and the wheels. So, and I can still see, my performance screen here with all my gauges and RPMs and gear selection, RPMs, things of that nature. So let's talk about the cat compaction technology. So number one, what's going to come standard is what we call SVAS. And that's basically our pass counter. And it basically works like on the same technology, kind of like a cell phone, with the GPS technology. Mm-hmm. It's going to let me know where I'm at on the working face. And I can program into here on the side I hit if I want to do 4 passes, if I want to do 5, if I want to do 6. And basically, we call that painting the screen, right? Uh-huh. And it's gonna be color coded and tell me how many passes I've had in that particular area. It works 2 ways. Number one, we can use it as a training tool. So I can use that to help train operators to work in a logical sequence, mm-hmm. On their passes and patterns, and work, left to right or right to left across that working face and paint that whole screen. Once I paint that whole screen my desired color or desired amount of passes, and then it's time to put another lift on it or another layer on it and do it all over again. Mm-hmm. That comes standard with the machine. Any of the new 836s, that's now standard. The other version we have with our cat compact technology is what we call RTK, or it's full-blown GPS. And basically, same screen, same thing, but now I got to have a base station. I'm running off the satellites, system, and basically it's going to give me cut fills. Mm-hmm. It's going to give me elevations. It's going to give me a thick lift, notify me when I'm doing a thick lift, if I'm going, deeper than that 24 inches that we recommend with the 836. So it's going to tell me that. Another feature that the RTK has is what we call the cat compaction algorithm. And once again, it's also going to be color coded on the side. And it's going to let me know when the operator or this machine isn't affecting any more compaction on that working face. So basically, it's going to measure that deflection as it comes back up. It's going to tell me on the screen, hey, we're not affecting change anymore. We've got good compaction here. It's time to move over, and compact another spot. So great feature. Once again, it's going to eliminate us from compacting too much, not compacting enough. It's going to, also help us, save on some fuel burn.
Right. Another benefit of RTK is that back office. So the back office will have a tool where they could see, productivity increases, decreases, and very, very, very useful.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And that's great from, the manager standpoint too, right? Where you can look at that back office and, you can start calculating what your densities are on a weekly basis. If you want to get really in there, you can do a daily basis. But it's more of a guide on that weekly basis too.
Yep.
Have an idea where our densities are.
Yep.
Instead of waiting for, a quarterly flyover or every 6 months,
right.
Doing a flyover or a drone
or hiring a survey company. Yep.
Yep. Absolutely. So great point there, Konstantin.
Yes. Yeah. So great improvements overall, right? This really tells me that CAT is really committed to the waste industry.
Oh yeah, definitely very committed to the waste industry, because especially when you look at this technology.
Yeah.
On the pass count or the SBAS, you can see probably a 6 to 8% improvement on those densities. And on that RTK, you can see anywhere from 15 to 18% improvement on those densities. So great commitment, of enhancing, the waste industry, enhancing those densities. Great for the environment from, getting that higher compaction and more airspace. So yeah, great commitment from CAT. And then a couple other things I want to point out real quick. We talked about, the technology part, but some of the buttons over here. So we still have AVP.
Yes.
Which is our auto blade positioner, right? And I've got these two buttons here where I can set upper and lower kickouts. So I can set my blade up to a certain height, and then I can set it down where I want to come into the waste at a certain level. So when I hit reverse, it's automatically going to raise that blade to that preset height. And then when I hit back forward, it's going to push me forward or take me forward, but it's also going to lower the blade to that preset, lower depth. So if I want to come in at 20 inches or 25 inches or, whatever the case may be, I can be at that level, right? So that ABP, we got throttle lock. I can set my throttle lock, and if I want to run 2,000 RPMs or, 1,900, I can run throttle lock, and then I can use this left pedal and use that left pedal, which is an impeller clutch. And as I push down on that left pedal, it reduces my rim pull or my torque to my wheels. And I'll take it all the way down to 20%, then it acts as a brake. So I can really control my wheel modulation with that left pedal instead of being on and off that throttle all day. Definitely utilizing that through throttle lock.
Yes.
So some great features in the cab, making it comfortable for the operator. Making him a little bit more efficient. So that way, at the end of the day, he's not tired, and ready to come back to work the next day and increase airspace. So,
yes. Yep.
Any other questions you got?
No. I mean, again, all the updates and improvements of the new A36 tells me that CAT is really committed to the waste industry, and then I can't wait to see this machine in the trash.
Absolutely. That's what we're getting ready to do next. I get to be the lucky one. I'm going to the trash. Maybe I'll let you have some fun with it later.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.